I want to talk about the difference between open mics and club mics
Ooh, yes.
because they're very different.
Mm-hmm.
An open mic, for comedy at least, open mic comedy places are shit. And the room isn't right and the lighting isn't right. It's either too bright or too not bright.
Not every time. There's a couple let me put a
Yeah.
caveat in there. There are some places that do it correctly.
Some places nail it,
But the gist of it is that open mics are they're
Shitty.
kind of a scramble.
They're shitty. And the people in there are mostly bad. You know, there's great people scattered around the open mic community. We know most of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the good ones. That you're like, oh, this guy could be someone someday.
Yep.
You know, and then there's club open mics. And what you do at the club open mics is you bring your best stuff, you know. And at the open mics, you try to hone some sort of 5-minute set that's good enough, and then you present them. You present it to the comedy club open mics. And at the comedy club open mics, there's bookers watching, and other good comedians watching. And then if they see you do good, then you might get like a callback or something, or get put on a show.
Yeah.
You know, your face gets out there.
Yeah, you grind it out at the open mics to try to have something to present to the club mics in town. At least that's the way it works in out in LA, like in Hollywood. And the worst part about going to club mics is it isn't bombing in front of the booker, it's bombing in front of other comics that you like look up to, that you know are in the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Because you know we've done the improv mic a few times. You more than I have.
A bunch of times.
You've done it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And on comedy club open mics, you have to bring it. You really have to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it goes bad, it goes really bad. And not only do your peers see, the bookers see.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I can only imagine they write like a frowny face next to your name forever.
They take it. They take the darkest Sharpie of all time and go, nope, no, never again.
Just after one bomb.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but other times it can go really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your peers come up to you and they're like, "That's great. I saw you. You know, I was there when you first did that bit, and that's cool how you crafted it, you honed it in." And
I've had people at open mics like to this day. They're like, "Hey, dude, I saw you like at the improv open mic. That was really good."
Yeah.
And then at the open mic, I just went up and bombed. It goes down so quickly. But
Yeah.
the club open mics is where you bring your honed material, your honed A game. It's like the best that you got. You throw at the club open mics, and
there's no fucking around at the club open mic.
there's no. I mean, people fuck around, but.
Yeah.
You aren't really supposed to, but like you bring your best to the club open mics, and then regular open mics around town, you're kind of just throwing shit against the wall, seeing what sticks. Most of it doesn't.
Most of it
90% of it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you get great feedback on that. You know.
Yeah.
You like you do your open mic set, and you're like, okay, the whole time I was up there, except for this bit, didn't get laughs. So I'm gonna keep this bit, take it, and put it in the club open mic kind of section of your act.
Yeah. You put it you file it into this has act potential. You know? And you also learn how to do stand up at open mics. Like I don't know, I do stand up. I do a lot of stand up. But I'm still learning how to do stand up.
I learned actually how to slow down at the improv mic because I had that run a while ago where I got up 4 weeks in a row, and the first time I got up,
Which is unheard of.
Oh yeah. Also, it's a miracle
Because it's name in a hat in a bucket.
It'll never happen again. But I went up. Excuse me. I went up my first time at the improv, and I sped through. I was trying to cram. What I found out later was I was trying to cram too many jokes into like this tiny 3-minute pocket that you got, and you gave me the best bit of advice because I went up there and bombed, and you were like, hey, dude, just like slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like choose, instead of doing like 5, just choose like 3.
Mm-hmm. 3 tops.
Two jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Choose 2 jokes and really like lengthen them out. Slow step through them. It'll go a lot better. And then the next 3 weeks that I went up, I mean, I didn't crush enough to get a callback, but I did very well for my standards for where I'm at right now.
It was good.
And it changed the way that I kind of. It was another lesson that I learned. You know, it changed the way that I approach comedy. Now I'm a lot more, even with new bits, I'm a lot more slow on stage.
Yeah, I think with bits, I don't know, at least for me, like I'm naturally slow with things, with talking.
Yeah.
And my bits are slow. Like if I'm doing a 5-minute open mic set or something.
You got 2 jokes in you.
Yeah, it's 2. I'll do 2, maybe 3. And the third one's probably like a new idea that I don't have like fleshed out yet. But I like to slow it down and get people into my rhythm of this is how it's going. And
that works to your advantage a lot because like whatever you figured out, I've seen you go on after really high energy people before and just eat shit.
Yeah.
And just totally bomb. And whatever you've kind of figured out in the last couple of months, I've seen you go on after high energy people like recently, and you've gotten good at kind of like kind of taking the lever down a little bit and going like, all right, guy, I know that last guy, but like we're here now. We're right here now. We're here. Now I'm going to talk about two-way mirrors.
Yeah.
And you're going to like it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just noticed, I realized, like, I don't know, I had this, like, thought, like, just less is more, I think. I think less is more. And some things. For me, I think at least. Less is more works for me. Unless you're doing an act out, then I think go full throttle. Like, if you're trying an act out,
balls
I think
to the wall.
fucking hammer down.
Yeah.
But I think what works for me is less words and say those words with more meaning. Because then it just means more. Because they're if you say less, then people are really, I feel like they're paying attention more.
Every word that you say has more weight to
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
And if you're just silent in between thoughts, you're not like stammering, well, what else? You're just like, you say the words slowly, and you just say exactly what you want to say.
Excuse me. A big part of that, I think, is getting comfortable with silence. Because a big part of starting out in stand-up comedy, like especially, it's like your first year just doing open mics. You just want to do like joke. You want to like keep them laughing. You like anytime that's silent.
Terrifying.
Yeah, you panic. Like you panic inside, and so you just want to keep slinging the jokes. And so I think a kind of a step that we've taken is just being okay with like the silence at the setup for the payoff at the punchline that's at the other end of it. Like longer bits are harder to execute, but the payoff is greater as opposed to like just bam 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 just like that.
Yeah, and also less words. Like using less words.